Hi friends, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something very scary. Modes.
Man, you scared me, kid.
Actually, they're not scary, and in this video I'm going to tell you why.
Thank God.
Lately, I have been hearing and seeing a lot of confusion about modes online, and honestly, it's because a lot of the explanations out there make them seem way more complicated than they actually are.
Okay, that's not helping.
So today we're going to be breaking it all down in the simplest way possible. You're going to learn what modes are, what makes them sound so unique, and how to actually use them on guitar. Before we jump in, let's get one thing straight. We're going to be talking about the modes of the major scale today. Yes, there are more modes than the ones in the major scale. We have harmonic minor modes, we have melodic minor modes, but we're gonna save those for another day. So what even are modes? Modes are basically variations of the major scale created by starting on a different note of the scale. Let's break this down step by step. The C major scale has 7 notes in it: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Each of these notes has a corresponding chord: C major 7th, D minor 7th, E minor 7th, F major 7th, G 7th, A minor 7th, and B minor 7 flat 5. And here's where the magic happens. Each of these notes also has a corresponding mode: C Ionian, D Dorian, E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian, A Aeolian, and B Locrian. So you're probably asking, how do I get these modes? And the answer is by playing the C major scale but starting on a different note than C. For example, if you play the C major scale but instead of starting on C, you start and end on the note D, you're now playing D Dorian. But why does that change the sound? Great question. The reason is because when you start on a different note of the scale, the intervals change. And intervals are what gives the scale its unique sound. Even though C Ionian and D Dorian have the same notes in it, if you play them over different chords, they're gonna sound completely different. Let me show you. If I play the C major scale over a C major 7 chord, sounds like the major scale, aka Ionian. But if I play the same exact notes, this time over a D minor 7, suddenly we hear Dorian. Did you hear how they sounded completely different even though I played the same exact notes? Now let's hear over the E minor 7th chord, we're going to be hearing E Phrygian. Now let's talk about the best way to learn the modes. When I first learned my modes, I was taught the relative approach, which means that you think about which major scale a mode comes from. For example, if you needed to play F Lydian, you would think, okay, F Lydian is the 4th mode of a major scale, that will make it the 4th mode of the C major scale. While the relative approach works, I didn't like it because I always felt like I had to do an extra step before I could play the mode. I always had to think of the relative major scale. And also I realized that I really didn't know what notes made that mode because I was always following the pattern of the major scale. So instead, I recommend that you learn what notes make each mode unique. Let's talk now major versus minor modes. First, let's separate the modes by tonality. We have 3 major sounding modes: Ionian, Lydian, and Mixolydian, while we have 4 minor sounding modes: Dorian, Phrygian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Now, what notes make each of these modes sound unique? Each mode has either 1 or 2 special notes that define its sound. Let's start with Ionian. This is your regular major scale. Let's hear it again. Dorian, it's a minor scale that has a major 6 in it, making it sound funky and jazzy. Phrygian, it's a minor scale that has a flat 2, making it sound more dark and Spanish sounding. Lydian is a major scale that has a sharp 4, making it sound more dreamy and floaty. Mixolydian is a major scale that has a flat 7, making it sound more bluesy and dominant. Aeolian, your natural minor scale. Locrian, your minor scale, but with a flat 2 and flat 5, making it sound more unstable and tense. So why is this approach faster? Most guitar players know very well the major and minor scales. So instead of thinking, for example, if you need to play G Mixolydian, okay, G Mixolydian is the 5th mode of the major scale, and then you count back down to C, you just think G major scale, flatten the 7th, done. This way, you really start understanding what notes make each mode sound the way they do instead of just memorizing patterns. Now, how do we actually use modes while soloing? This is my honest opinion. Learning the modes is very useful, but it is not the end-all be-all major secret to become the best soloist out there. What is way more important is to start using triads, arpeggios, and chord tones. This will give your solos more structure, and you will be able to start hearing the harmony while you're soloing. Once you have that dialed in, then you can start using the modes to add color to your solos. Instead of thinking of modes as separate scales, start thinking them as extensions of your major and minor scales that you already know, just to add a little bit of color pop to your solos. So don't just memorize the modes, apply them. Find a modal backing track and then start playing them. Get acquainted and familiar with how they sound and what notes make them sound that way. That's it, guys. I hope this video was helpful, and most importantly, that you don't break into a nervous sweat the next time that you hear the word modes. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave it below. I love talking to you guys. And if you haven't subscribed or liked this video yet, please do. It does help the channel a lot. Thank you so much, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye.